Well, previously me and Ross, the drummer, were in a metal band called Forlorn from about early 2006 to 2010. We always said during them Forlorn days that we'd always do a rock band at some point. We didn't do any music for at least a year.
And we ended up saying let's jam in my attic, which is a nice large space to jam in. Jammed a few times, sort of things started sounding pretty good. He showed me a few of his riffs, pretty much.
New Road, Hey You, and I think Greed Effect started then, just from a jam session. So yeah, we recorded them demos on Cubase then. Just basic Cubase drums, guitars and bass.
Then we sort of kept jamming a few times and worked on a few things and started auditioning, well, advertising for band members, and the rest is history.
I think we had a couple of auditions where some characters turned up. Yeah, so that didn't go well for some reason. So what we decided to do was actually record 5 songs professionally. The plan was to put the adverts out and go from there. Figure we'd have better success with better people if we had actual songs recorded. So we recorded 5 tracks with our friend Mr. James Wolford. Loved the results. Then we put the advert out again, and we had a lot more interest that time. We jammed with a few guitarists who didn't know what they were playing. Chris Rowley responded just before Christmas.
I ended up joining the Crimson Star after going out one night for a few drinks and bumping into a singer who's in a band that my old band had played with. And he asked what I was up to musically, that basically the band had since split up, and he told me to go on joinmyband.com.
Chris's audition, yeah, it was good. Didn't expect him to be the way it was. He kept saying he's being one of the boys, which I don't know, adds to his his weird ways, which that's what we love about him, obviously.
The audition was smooth. You know, I found Jay and Ross pretty like sound guys to really be involved in the band with.
Jammed on New Road, and then I think we spent the rest of the rehearsal just jamming on Metallica songs.
We literally just had a jam on the songs and then had a jam on some Metallica after, and just sat down and spoke about who our influences are, and yeah.
His audition was good, and he come in, took his bass out, and quite a nice bass as well, which obviously is good. Really good person. We got on really well, which is what we wanted. And yeah, he could play the bass a bit. He sort of blagged it, I'd say.
And that for me was like, yeah, easy. Still no luck with the guitarist. It was people turning up saying they'd learnt the songs, but they didn't. They were playing something else, I don't know. I remember putting the advert on Facebook and hoping just the message would get across. Oh, they were after a guitarist for my friends and Mr. David Musson.
The funny thing is, he was obviously the photographer for the previous band Forlorn.
So my involvement with the Crimson Star goes back probably years even before the Crimson Star were a band. I knew Jay and Ross when they were in their metal band Forlorn. I used to write for a national music magazine, and I got sent their first 2 EPs to review. Connected with the guys then, and they ended up booking me to do some photos for them as well, because I do a bit of photography in my spare time.
And then next thing you know, we randomly got a message off him saying he wants to audition. I was thinking, he doesn't play guitar, does he? What?
I think it was about 10 o'clock at night, because I remember being in bed, and I just remember texting Ross straight away saying, Dave plays guitar.
And they sent me a link to one of the songs. Don't think they really believed me that I play guitar, but they sort of sent me the link anyway. Yeah, and I heard some of the way, heard that riff kick in, and thought, I need to be in that band.
When we was in Forlorn, he reviewed our first 2 EPs and did our first photo shoot, so it was just weird finding out he actually played guitar. We sent in the songs on a Friday morning, and by the evening he says he'd learned them, which I didn't believe. We had a rehearsal the following Tuesday.
We were going to jam on a Tuesday, and the Friday before then Ross sent me all of the tracks, the 5 tracks from the first EP, and I got them in the afternoon, downloaded them straight away. I was really excited to listen to them and learn them, and I genuinely had learned them by the end of the Friday evening. And I messaged the guys to say that I'd done that. They clearly didn't believe me, but they humoured me over that weekend. And then I actually turned up at the studio, arrived about half an hour after everybody else had been there, and I could see the look of disappointment in their face when I walked in carrying my BC Rich in its coffin-shaped case. They were thinking, oh no, what have we got here?
He turns up with his BC Rich guitar.
Yeah, turned up with the best guitar ever. I think about £150 BC Rich, wasn't it?
Still reckons he learnt all the songs, the 5 songs on the EP.
And I think even by the end of the 4th song, where I played all 4 songs perfectly, well, pretty much perfectly anyway, they still didn't really believe me that I was a guitar player. But yeah, I guess I nailed it really. And I also covered my tracks and took Cake with me as well, so it would have been difficult for them not to let me in the band after all that, I think.
That session we just went through all them 5 songs and he absolutely nailed him.
So we auditioned him. I was thinking, oh God, I hope he's good. I don't want to be letting him down because he's a nice guy and stuff. And then when he turned up and absolutely destroyed the set, it sounded like he'd known the songs longer than we did. So he absolutely killed it, pretty much.
The funny thing was, Chris had been in the band a couple months at that point. Whilst Dave's audition was going on, Chris was actually looking at what Dave was playing because he didn't know. So I found that funny. Yeah, and since he joined the band, we've gone from strength to strength.